Hey guys, welcome back to today's video. So today is Tuesday, November 27th, if I'm not wrong, 2018. And funny story, I was going to actually cover an election that was uncalled for the House race. I was just going to quickly go over the California 21st District House race, which has moved from voting for the GOP incumbent, who won on election day by 7%, and his margin has narrowed down to losing by 0.4% to his Democratic opponent. And if the Democrats do win here, it will be their 40th pickup. I'll probably go a little bit more in depth once the results actually come out. This is the last House race yet to be called. Almost all the mainstream media called this race for the GOP. I believe every single one of the mainstream, news outlets called this for the GOP. Valadao, I guess, if that's how you pronounce it, was supposed to win here. And then Cox all of a sudden comes in and starts leading by 0.4%. That is crazy. I mean, leading by 7 on election night for the GOP, and then all of a sudden, now a 0.4% lead. Definitely a drastic change in this district itself, especially since it's held with this incumbent for a pretty long time, considering that the district itself has shown a little bit more Democratic tendencies than you might otherwise realize. But something happened. Went on Twitter, and I saw that the Mississippi Senate special election was trending, and I was a little surprised about it because I thought the election was in December, if I'm being completely honest with you guys. I guess I didn't keep too up to date with it, considering the GOP is going to hold control regardless of who wins here, considering that this is a very solid GOP state. It's going to be very hard for the Democrats to even really do much here, but the margin isn't necessarily the worst. Mike Espy is actually doing pretty good for a Democrat in the state of Mississippi. We compare it back to 2016. Hillary Clinton did not do this good. We're looking at a state that hasn't voted for a Democrat in a very long time. In fact, 2019, elections coming up next year, there might be a possibility that Jim Hood could win here in the Mississippi governor election. But again, anything is really possible. So I'm not going to throw that one out, but for right now, it looks like Cindy Hyde-Smith actually might do pretty well. So the reason why I'm just going to make the video completely about this, I'm just going to discuss the Senate race. Not many scandals came about Hyde-Smith. I mean, you'd expect that for someone who's appointed, but overall, if we're looking at the state itself, Cindy Hyde-Smith had a pretty clean campaign other than some, Confederate ties type scandal, but that wasn't necessarily the huge thing like what we saw in Alabama, or this wasn't like a blowout compared to what we were expecting in states like Virginia or other states. But the polling data suggested that Cindy Hyde-Smith would win by 10%. So she outperforms. That's outperforming the polling data. But keep in mind, this is a runoff. No write-ins, no other third-party candidates, no blank ballots. This is purely Republican or Democrat. Cindy Hyde-Smith or Mike Espy. So when we look at the state of Mississippi itself, keep in mind this is a very, very, very Republican state. In fact, if we go, again, just 2 years ago, I believe the last time, actually I do not know the last time it voted for Democrat, I'm assuming it's 76. But in 2016, Hillary Clinton got 40% of the vote here. So Mike Espy is doing better than Hillary Clinton, but also Donald Trump won with 58% of the vote. So that was an around 18% margin, and that's pretty surprising. We're looking at a state that, not surprising in terms of how the state voted. It's surprising in the results we're seeing now. Mike Espy likely could do better than Democrats have been doing in a state like Mississippi, and Cindy Hyde-Smith had no real scandals about her. So this really just goes to show that it is possible for Democrats to do a little bit better with excited turnout. A 4% margin, narrowing up by gaining 4% in a state like Mississippi, it doesn't mean much. But if we go to other states that were decided, like Florida, decided by 0.2% and 0.4% in the Senate and then governor race, respectively, we look at a state that if a 4% margin increase for the Democrats, they could be winning these elections solidly. Obviously, that's not going to happen. Florida has always been one of those more stubborn states in terms of how it always votes. But Mississippi, showing a turn like this possibly could show that other Republican states may take a turn. But also Tennessee was tried in 2018 for the Senate election. Didn't work, but it did definitely narrow down a lot better for the Democratic Party. Missouri and Indiana and North Dakota were losses for the Democrats. But overall, again, regardless of who wins tonight in the Mississippi Senate special election, I think they're going to call it for Cindy Hyde-Smith pretty soon. The Republican Party will retain control of the Senate. They gained, I believe, 3 seats. The Democrats gained 2, so it's an overall net gain of 1 right now. But the GOP gained 4. So it's an overall net gain of 2, I'm assuming, if they hold on to Mississippi, because it would be 53-47. Yes, an overall net gain of 2 for the GOP. But in the areas where, I think the reason why they haven't called it yet, in the areas that Donald Trump did phenomenal in, most of those are in now. All those solid red counties, most of those are already counted with 100% of precincts reporting. We're looking at other areas, especially in this area, which may not have that large of a population, has a number of Democratic counties. In fact, if you go to the 2016 presidential election results, that entire area over here, except for this county right here, the only one out of the rest of them, these are all Democratic counties. In fact, this county right here, Warren County, Mike Espy won here. Donald Trump was able to, I believe he carried this county, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, Donald Trump was able to carry that county. Over in Hinds County, that one's not fully in yet, but Mike Espy obviously doing a lot better. But I just don't think he's going to be able to make up the margin. We're looking at a state that has been solidly Republican for a really long time. I think that it's very optimistic to think that the Democratic Party could do a little bit better here. It's probably not going to happen, if we're being completely honest. This county, Forest County, went to Donald Trump in 2016, but it's now showing a sudden turn to go in favor of the Democratic Party. Jefferson Davis County went to Hillary Clinton, and also this county did as well. Pike County went to went to Hillary Clinton, but Mike Espy is now currently behind there. But over here, these three counties all went to Hillary Clinton pretty solidly. Not that much of the population there, but still it's pretty solid for the Democratic Party. This was a Republican county, but is now a Democratic county. This county right over here was a Democratic county. Just looking around again, with 72% of precincts reporting, Cindy Hyde-Smith is at a 12% lead. Overall, looking at the state, I just don't think the Democratic Party is going to have enough. But again, I'm going to be uploading this as the results come in. So anything can really change. But for right now, Cindy Hyde-Smith is currently leading. She's the incumbent. She's probably going to win here overall. So again, looking back, just to cover what I was originally going to make the video about, the 21st District has a key race, has not been called yet. I'm waiting for it to get called so I can do a full analysis of the House. I actually may do a state-by-state analysis video, considering I have a lot of time till I actually have to start worrying about 2020 very heavily in terms of videos. I can actually do 2018 analysis videos, and I get some of you guys may see that as boring, so I may just do regions like Northeast, South, things like that. But the 21st District right now, Cox is taking ahead by 0.4%, even though he's behind by 7% on Election Day. That is something to note. That is something that is pretty important. Then we go over and look at the Mississippi Senate race. Again, not much is probably going to change from this margin, except there are some Democratic counties out. I get that. But it just doesn't seem like the Democratic Party has a real chance here. 73% of precincts reporting. Cindy Hyde-Smith leads by 12.12% over Mike Espy. And there are a number of precincts out. So overall, again, wrapping up the, I guess, today's video, 21st District is a race to watch. If you guys do have, not just like CNN Politics, I only use that because it's the only one that regularly updates it. I don't know if they've called every House race. Actually, they have. So they finally have called the 27th District. I don't know why they waited. 22nd District, they also called as well. I don't know why they waited for that one, considering every other network had called it. But if we're looking at those areas, I think, yeah, that's the only race not called. The Democrats currently have 234, Republicans 200. We'll see exactly how well the Democrats do, maybe having 40 or not just 39, because 39 was good for them. But we'll just see exactly the final numbers, possibly tomorrow or the day after, because they have around 4,000 votes left to count in the House District 21st District race. But again, Cox is expected to win here based off the remaining counties that are out, considering that they all pretty much heavily favor the Democratic Party here. I don't know if, you can't zoom into county by county. And then looking at Mississippi, probably not a lot of hope for Democrats. They possibly could narrow up the margin, but again, it just doesn't seem like it's too plausible at this point in time. So thank you guys for watching this video. Comment down suggestions below, and I will see you all tomorrow.